along that line, we are going to start by drawing the rough shape of the wing. Now, it's also important to know, where does the wing come back to the body? It comes back to the body actually almost by the tail feather. Okay? So it will look just like this. Okay. Now let's move on to the next wing. The next wing, remember we drew this line? That gave us a nice angle for that wing. Well, if you look at the top of this wing over here, it actually angles up. Okay? It doesn't angle straight across, it actually angles up. So what we need to do is make sure that that wing is angling up. Now, what I do next is I don't want to look at all of these details. That's just ridiculous, and it's kind of overwhelming, really. So what I want to do is I want to look at this wing as just a basic shape. So if I were to draw a line that just traced the outline of this entire wing, what would that look like? Okay? So I need to kind of visualize how that's actually going to look. If I just trace the top of each feather, okay, how far down does the wing come? What is the angle that that wing goes? And then where does it stop? It stops right about inside the bottom of the bird. So as you can see, what I'm trying to do in this demonstration is just to talk through my thought process as somebody that's just a little bit more experienced in drawing, and just what I've learned over the years. There's a lot of artistic tricks that a lot of people know, some that I still don't know, that I'm always consistently learning, but hopefully these will help you out. Now, what you're going to start to do next is you want to start to sketch out how it gets more detailed. Okay, so what is the actual shape of the head? We know where the head is. It's this circle that we originally put down. But what is the actual shape of it? And if you look, you can look at the back of the neck, how it flattens out. The top of the head, how it's somewhat flat. You could put in the beak. The beak is actually almost at the top of the head, which doesn't seem right, but trust me, you have to trust your references in order to get this to look accurate. So I'm going to put the beak in. Does the beak touch the wing? No, it doesn't touch the wing because there is a space right here in between. So that is something that I'm always double checking with my negative space. Okay, so now I can come in here, finish off the head. Okay, great. Now, what I can do is I'm going to start to form out the actual body. Do you see how the body actually comes in? It comes inward right about here. Okay, so I want to make sure that I have that, and then I sketch it down. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side of the body, and I'm going to form out the rest. Okay, so from here I can start blocking everything else out. How far down do these teal colored feathers actually go? They come way down here, and what I'm going to do is this is almost like a gesture technique where you just kind of get really loose and creative with the hands. It's almost like when your heart gets hooked up to those EKG machines and you see your pulse. It's almost like that sort of texture. And what I do that even though it's not exactly how this looks. What I'm doing is I'm just suggesting the actual texture of the bird. Okay, obviously we're not going to get every single feather correct. It's a little bit of a reach to think that we're going to do that. So what you can do is you can actually suggest the texture. Okay, now from here I'm going to kind of move along a little quicker now. From here what I would start to do is I would start to sketch out each of these separate sections of the bird. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm mapping out where the teal part, or the underneath of this wing, actually starts, and then I'll do the same thing over here. So I'm sketching it out, and I'm thinking about where does it go to? It goes to about here. Where does it start down here? Starts about here. And I can actually just connect with just kind of a loose line where that's actually going to be. Okay. Now the next part. Some of this, what you can do is you could